How did I open up the dictionary? Oh, I clicked too hard. I'm using a track. I finally got that trackpad connected, so I'm using that. Okay, development. Client is gonna be PG. We have our connection, which I think can be a connection string, right? Connection, I want you to be Postgres. Yeah, okay, so our connection can be a connection string. Which means I need to set this up. Okay, so we now need a, yeah, I got one from my old work, had one left over for me to use. I use it for my other jobs too. So let's see. Why do I keep on like opening it up? That doesn't matter. Okay, so connection string. I need to expose an environment variable inside of here. So that means we need to restart our Docker container again. Now I can't, I don't think, add in an environment variable after the fact. So we're gonna have to stop you, which is gonna kick us out of these two terminals, and that's fine. We're going to remove you. And we're going to, okay, so you went away, you went away. Okay, so we're going to restart our Docker container here. So we're going to do a Docker run. Now we have this environment variable port 3096, and I want another one, and this is going to be our connection string to a database. But really, I can't do a connection string to a database until I have a database, don't I? So we're gonna have to do that first. So run daemon mode, and okay, so we're gonna give it a name and call it Postgres database. I don't need a volume for this because it's just dev stuff. I don't really care that much. We are going to have some environment variables. I need to go remember how to do this. If you're happy with Linux, then just use Linux. Like Apple software or Apple hardware and software is perfectly fine for like if you like that kind of thing and if you're used to it. And if you're like and used to Linux, then that's really good too. Let's see. Docker Postgres. So specifically, this is what I want. Postgres password. That's, I believe, the only one that I need here. So call this keyboard cat, which is what I always use for my dev stuff. Hungry Bear Dev, you missed a lot of minutes. Well, I don't think you missed that many. Like it's what, 10 minutes or so? I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I haven't gone that far. What we decided is we needed a database, and so now I stopped and deleted the previous container that we had for dev, and we're creating a container for Postgres. So we have that, and then I don't think we need anything else, but what I do need to do, how do I want to do this? I don't need to expose I think the ports are exposed internally automatically. I do need to set a network for it. I do. Okay, so I need to remember. Okay, so network connects a container to a network. Okay, so I need to create a network for this first. So we want to create, and we're gonna call this maybe like Express app network. I mean, I could just call it the Express app. Oh, Express CRUD. Okay, so with that network, now we can do a Docker run so this is going to be Express PG. I want to, I don't need to expose any ports. I don't need to expose anything else. We need the environment variable for Postgres password. And then I need to add it. Is it -n or -- network? -- network. And then that's called Express CRUD. And I think that's all I need. So we're going to use Postgres. And then I'm just going to let that run on its own. So that runs behind the scenes. Now we need to create ours. So we're going to do Docker run. We'll have this run in the background. We'll give it a name. This will be Express code. Or maybe we'll just call this our Express CRUD. E is our port. I think that's everything that I need for this. And then, okay, so we're going to run this with node 20. We're going to call this with npm run dev. Oh, shoot. Okay, never mind. I did forget one thing. I forgot the network. Blah, hello. How are you doing today? DB engine service? I don't know if that's exactly what I'm creating. But I've never used that, so I don't know for certain. Also, blah, was the I pinged you manually because I haven't set up any of the roles in Docker yet. I need to figure out how to do that like properly. And set that up. I don't have any of the normal things for Discord set up. So I need to learn how to do all that stuff so I can set it up. Oh, and it's helpful to get the reminder the night before. Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that too. I feel better about it because previously I was doing so many streams that I felt like I was just bugging everybody, but now I'm only doing 3 streams per week, so it's a lot better. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again, but this time we're not going to forget the network. So the network is Express CRUD. Okay. Oh, okay, so then you get created and then you have that network in there. So now if we connect in, so here's our two containers. I don't think I don't think that you can actually see the connections easily in here. That would be really cool. What I do believe, though, is that I can connect to and see Postgres based upon its name. So Postgres is the name of the container. So I should be able to get access to it as like HTTP or Postgres colon. So, oh, that was the other thing that I forgot. Oops. Okay, hold on. Let me stop you. Can I just remove you? We need another environment variable for this. And the environment variable is going to be the DB URI is Postgres :/ sorry, this is slightly behind me. Here, I could do that. Postgres :/ username. So it's username. So Postgres keyboard cat at. Okay, it's gonna be at Postgres. What do we call it? It's Express PG at Express PG. Colon, it should be the normal. Okay, so it should be the normal port, and then Postgres is the name of the database connected to it. So if I do that, now in here, my connection string can be process.env.db_URI. I want to connect to you. And we want to run what can I do for this? Oh, I can create a new migration for it. Let's create a new migration. So migrate, make. And then the name of this will be, I guess, like a create pass table. Okay, so it used the environment development and it successfully connected to the database. And now we have a migrations folder with this new migration in here. So that's good. Yeah, so the example code that we're going to do is going to be in Node.js, because that is, I would assume that most people who are going to take the course are familiar with that, a lot more familiar than maybe Rust. What am I doing? I wanted to come back to here. Okay, so the next thing that we did is, I guess I could create a network. Really, I think this should probably be connect to containers with a network. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, this is the course. This is the Docker course. Oh no, this is not Codecrafters Build Your Own Docker. That would be another fun one to do. And maybe someday we'll do that. Okay, so on up, I want to, it's been forever since I've done this. Let's go look at the documentation. I want schema builder, create table. Okay, so we schema connects schema create table. So connects schema create table. You take in the table name. Okay, so this is going to be our tasks. And then we're going to get the table. Then I can do table dot. Oh, right. Then it's the type. Okay, so I want the increments. I think that's the ID, right? So we'll just do this as ID. I think that automatically sets it to be a primary key, right? We'll find out. We do table dot, and then I want just the task name, I think, and then if it's completed or not. I think that's all. That's all I care about. So this will be a text, and this will be the name. You are not nullable. No default, so that's that. And then table dot completed can be a boolean called completed. This is not nullable, and it's going to have a default to false. Okay. That's what goes up, and then in down I want next dot schema dot drop table tasks. Okay, so at this point in time I can also connect to Postgres. We're going to attach a shell. We're going to do a PSQL. Right, it's PSQL dash u, no, dash ru Postgres. And then I want to table tasks. Does not exist. Okay, perfect. So we're going to over here. Now this is the container for the Node.js one. So I'm not inside the Postgres one. And this is going to be the first sort of magic that we're doing, which I'm going to run npx connects migrate run, migrate up. It runs the migration. If we switch over to a completely different system, a different container, I can now, oh, I can't see the task. Well, that didn't work. DT. Okay, fine. I don't see. You ran the following migrations. Oh, create task table did not return. Oh, am I supposed to return this? Huh, I thought create tasks. Return. Return. Okay, let's try this again. Down. Okay, up. Uh-oh. Is there like a reset? I want to force it to reset. That's not happy. Okay, so I wrote it wrong, but I think it is connecting to it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to remove these two tables. So we're going to do a drop table, connects migrations, and then lock. And now I should be able to run this. Okay, so it ran those, and now if we come back over here, we can do a table, tasks, and bam, it is created in a completely different container for us. So we have that network there. So I only have to have one container, one thing running in it, that's the beauty of Docker for this. Jim, hello, how are you doing today? What's the plan for the next fun stream? We're going to continue on with TIS 100. That's the plan for tomorrow. I want to get to at least the graphical part of it and sort of see how that works, and then we'll just sort of see. Do I want to put a third stream to it or not? Is the data going to be persistent? I heard Docker loses every state or info in it. No, it is not. Not yet. So that's a really good point. Right now, no, the data is not going to be persistent. So let's see. Okay, so let's show that off, because this is actually going to be this would be something you want over dev, right? So let's insert. Let's actually go forward with the code until we're actually inserting something into the database, and then we will make it more persistent with Docker. And I'll show you how to do that. So until then, we're going to come back over here. So to our task routes. Oh no, I want this in database. So in here, we're gonna have a new file, and we're gonna call this our connection JS. We're gonna do okay, so I want our, let's get connects first. So we get connects to begin with, and then we're gonna get our config. And that's our connects file. And then we're going to create our DB. So const our DB connection is going to be equal to connects executed with the config. Config dot. Of course you don't remember where you are. In you, I want this to be the development. So config.development. Okay, and then we want to module.exports DB. Okay, so that's the only thing we are exporting from this. Okay, so let's create some query. Let's create a query thing in here. So we're gonna do maybe like task queries. I want to const. I don't need connects, I don't believe. I just need the DB. So we're gonna do const DB equals acquire our connection. I want to, at the beginning of this, do const, this is gonna be tasks equals DB dot. Oh, there's a way to do this. It's been in Query Builder. Oh, I can do connects table name. Okay, so can I just do DB? Yeah, table name. So in this case, that's tasks. And then now I have the tasks. This is the task DB, right? So maybe task DB. And then I can now use this inside of queries. So if I want to create a new task, I want to return. I probably want to return the ID. So we're going to insert the task. We're returning just the ID. That's all I care about. I don't care about the options or anything else. Oh, but I do need to await. So that comes out like that, and then we're going to return the ID. Okay, so that's insert task, and then we're going to come back to our task routes. We're going to actually, I could probably do this. Oh, I need to export that. That one too far out. I want to go to DB task queries. And specifically, I want to get the insert task out of here. We have this rec.body, so I just want to pass in the rec.body. So we're going to do const r. Oh, and this needs to now be an async, so we can get our ID, insert task, rec.body. Now, if you fail for some reason, Black Enemy, hello, how are you doing today? Let's see. If you fail for some reason, that would obviously be bad. So we're going to put this into a try catch. And if that were to happen, we're going to respond. So we're going to do res dot set the status to be a 500 because this is probably our fault, and then return JSON and have the error be error dot message. Okay, so that's that. And then, okay, so we have const ID. Okay, so we get the ID from that, and then I just want to return with the ID. So we're gonna do a res dot status 201 turn JSON, and then I want the maybe like data or yeah, let's just data is the ID. Okay, now this isn't try catch, so it can only be one or the other. Otherwise, I would put returns in front of these. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so if I run this, this should now work. We have nothing in here right now, so I want to execute you. So we're going to build a Docker code. So if I send you, hey, we get an ID 1 back. If I come back to here and we look at you again, we have our build Docker course up and running. Claude, hello. This is so we're making a Docker course, and yeah, we haven't gotten to the point where we're using Docker volumes to mount them and then make the data more persistent. That's going to come next. Actually, let's okay, so that's the insert. Let's do the get all, and then we'll show, then it'll be easier to show off the that everything sort of disappears as soon as we reset the Postgres container. What's really nice is that you notice now that these containers are completely isolated and separated. So if I relaunch the Node.js one, Postgres doesn't really care. If I really relaunch the Postgres one, the Node.js one kind of cares. I only need to restart it though, because that way it will reconnect to the database. Sylvie, what are you looking for? Hey, whatever that is, don't eat it. Don't eat random things on the desk. Is that a piece of your claw? Huh. It's like a claw casing. That's gone. Don't eat your claw. Toan Lee, hello. Could you please guide to create web API with Actix Web? I do have a task on my to-do list to create a course for Actix Web. So eventually, yes, I will be able to do that. Not right now though. So it means the settings and config don't vanish. It's the content that's due. Well, maybe. So like, it gets confusing because each containers can be slightly different, right? Because in this case, the Node.js one, we're mounting the local code to it with a volume, which means that I could just delete this and recreate it all I want, and it doesn't matter at all. All the stuff that actually matters is on my system, and I mount into and share it essentially with that container. With Postgres, it actually has that data inside of it right now. So when it disappears, that data disappears too. But yes, when I use those environment variables in the Docker run command, so as long as I remember what that is and keep that around, I can recreate it exactly the same as it was before. Okay, so let's do, okay, so we did a route to get that. So we do a post. Let's do a dot get, and we're gonna do an async rec and res. We'll do another try catch. Let's do the same exact thing. Now, this is simple enough here that I'm just going to be a little bit fun and say we're going to have a handle error. This is going to take in an error, and we're just going to console.error the error out. We're going to res.status 100. Just pass that on up. Now, this is not probably the best way to do it because you don't necessarily want to send like the raw error message up to the parents. But in this case, this is not really production code here. This is more example code. So I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to, for this catch, we're just going to hand over and call handle error and pass it in the error. And the exact same thing here. Okay, so that's a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, so now we have this try catch. Now I want to get all. So we're going to go back to task queries. All right, so we're going to return tasks db. Going to select everything. Yeah, just select everything. There we go. That's all I want to do. Just return that. That's simple enough, right? So we get all of you, and now I want a res.json. We're gonna have all tasks, just tasks like that, and that's what we send back. This is also an opportunity to learn basic Express. I suppose so. I think that Express is no longer the winning backend for Node.js backends. I think that a lot of people now recommend something else, but I don't exactly know what that is. I've been out of the JavaScript based stuff for a while. Oh, Zilby left. I guess he got tired. He didn't like me telling him he couldn't eat his own claw. Okay, so if we run this now, so I want to build, let's also do another one. We're going to do a get to host 3000 tasks. And if we get that, here's our tasks, ID1, name, build Docker course, completed false. Okay, so we got everything back. Ben Winnan, hello. How are you doing today? Veet. Oh, I've heard a lot about Veet. Yeah. Is that the current winner in the backend? I think there's like a bunch of them, right? Okay, so basically now we get all of these, right? And I can create another one. I can basically say, here, we had a request for this build. We'll call this just Actix Web, Actix Web JSON API. And so if I send you and we get all again, is this get all? Uh-oh. Why am I just getting me all the tasks? That doesn't seem right. That's interesting. What did I do wrong? Oh, you thought Vite was front end. Yeah, it shows that how long I've been out of it that I don't even remember. I've just heard of Vite. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's a bundler. Okay. Oh, so that's replacing Webpack. About time. Webpack needed to go. You think the Insomnia client is bugged? Yeah, it might be, because that should not be sending this. Okay, how did I do this? What the heck did I do? Okay, so let's do a new request. Localhost 3000. Okay, so go to tasks. What did I do? Okay. If I switch you to just a get to tasks. Oh. So what I was hoping is that it would not hit this. That's so weird. Why is it hitting this? And it's still passing the same data. That seems weird. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna quit you and restart Insomnia. And let's try you again. No. What did I do? How is that even possible? There's no data for it to send. I don't know how it's creating it with the same name. Okay, so what we are, okay, first of all, oh, I didn't mean to. Let's open up our logs for here. So I want to view logs. Then I need to, what? Morgan? I think it was Morgan was the logging library that we all used back in the day. See, this is in the code. Okay, so we're going to install Morgan. And then in app, I want to pull you in. And then before any of these, I want to app.use Morgan. I don't remember if I need to do anything with it, so we're going to find out. Here's our logs. I want to now hit this again. This is, oh, it wants me to use. Oh, it's named after Dexter. I never watched Dexter, so I've always been confused about the name. Okay, so I basically just do Morgan, run it as a function, and then hand it a string. So let's do dev. What? And now it gives me this back. Okay. Insomnia, did you? Oh, I'm so confused about why now it works. All right. Who knows? Weird. Weird. Okay, but anyways, now we can see, okay. So this is actually not that bad because we can just say, oh no, we just corrupted our database and put a bunch of random shit into it and we don't care about this anymore. So instead of me having to go in and manually clear the database, what I can do is I can just, I don't want to restart because I want to actually, we're going to stop and we're going to remove the Postgres container. We're going to come back to here. We're going to come back to here and do a Docker run and go find that here where we put the Postgres container on the same network. We're going to run you error waiting for container. I don't know why we got that error, but you're back up and running again. I just need to restart this container because it does rely upon Postgres running before it. And okay, you should be restarted. Now, if we hit, oh, we lost our logs. That's okay. Let's go ahead and for node, we want to review the logs here. And I want to hit send on this. And what happened? Why are you upset? Select star from tasks, relation task. Oh yeah, look at this. Relation task doesn't exist. So we need to rerun the migrations. So we need to reconnect a shell to here, and we do an npx npx connects migrate up. It recreates that. And now if I run you, waiting for file changes. Okay, fine. Come in here, just hit save. Oh wait, are you sending this to a post because I have JSON in here? That's weird. Although you don't have that. There it goes. Now we get a get, and we have no tasks in there. It's not complicated, but if you don't know this, you'll definitely cry. It's I would say that's a good allegory for, allegory might not be the right word. That's a good way to say anything for modern web development. If you don't know this, you'll definitely cry. The problem is that the needs for web development have changed so rapidly, and we went from needing web sites that are very simple to web applications in which we're building just full out applications that used to be desktop applications, but now run in a web browser. And we're no longer using a web browser as just a thing to display text and hypertext links. Now we're using it as a virtual machine to, deploy apps. Like, think of it like how the JVM, the Java virtual machine, runs Java applets everywhere that you want, or applications everywhere you want. Now JavaScript applications wherever you want. And it works pretty well. Like, there's a reason why it's become super popular. And it's not going backwards. We're going forwards with it. How are you attaching the dev folder without using dev container? Yeah. So how am I doing that? Let's, Aro, you know Docker. So if I just show you this is our Docker run command. Can you see this? Do I need to make this bigger? For Express. So specifically, I'm just using the volume. Yeah, so that makes it pretty simple. And since it's for dev, it works just fine. And I'm also using environment variables for here. So that way we don't need to have like a .env file or anything else like that. Although we will be using a .env file eventually. Okay, so we just reset our database and the data is gone. So let's say we didn't want to reset our database. Or no, let's say we wanted to reset our database and not lose all the data and just have the data continue to be there. Now, we can do that by creating a volume container, which is kind of weird to say it that way, but it's very possible. So what we can do is I'm going to do a Docker volume ls, and this shows here's all the volumes I just happen to have on my system. We're going to create a new one. Just going to do Docker volume create, and we're going to call this maybe our Express PG. So that way this is the volume that our Postgres can use. I'm going to have a specific volume container for anything that needs a volume for it. Okay, so Express PG, that goes into there, and now I want to attach this to the Postgres container when that runs, which means you got it again. I've got to remove the Postgres container. So let's go ahead and do this. I might as well stop the node one, since this is useless without the Postgres app. we're going to, as soon as that finishes, let's delete our Postgres containers. And now we're going to create a new one. And so I want a Docker run. Here's what we did for Postgres. And I literally just forgot the name of the volume container that I created. So we're gonna figure it out. I think it's Express PG. We'll find out. So before I give it the name here, we're gonna do I think it's volume. Well, it's been so long. Let's go look it up. Okay, in the case of name volumes, the first field is the name of the volume, and then the second field is where it's going to go. So I just want -v again. The name of the volume is Express PG is what we called it, and then colon, and then where it's going to go inside of there. So where are we going to mount this? Axum, hello. How are you doing today? To find out where we want to go for this, we're going to go to the Postgres image documentation and find out where it stores the database data itself, which shows it PG data. When mounting a volume to here, let's see, the default is varlib Postgres QL data. That's what I want to do. So I want to mount to there. So you can see here, I do -v, the name of that volume that I created, and then varlib PostgreSQL data, Postgres. I create that. Let's go ahead and restart node. That will then connect to our Postgres database. We need to I need to reconnect to you. So attach shell. I want to rerun our npx connects migrate up. Migrate up. Okay, so we ran our migrations. Now I can, we're going to create a couple things here. So let's do, this will be a post to task. So here we have our ActiveWeb JSON API. We have our Docker course. We have those two things created there. If I get these two things, it's doing that stupid thing again. Hold on, let me watch the logs. Huh, did I get that last time? Weird, it did do a get. Why are you weird? What am I doing wrong with this? That it does the get and it just gives me the task. That seems odd. Do we get in a browser? Yeah, we could do a get in browser. Here, let's okay, it's not Insomnia. That's what I got with the browser. Okay, so I got, how did I screw this up? If I restart you, that gives me that. How did I mess that up so badly? And task queries, okay, so we have enter task, get all tasks. I'm just selecting them all. That's all I'm doing. Where will this course be published? I'm going to publish it on my LMS. And then after that, I have not decided if I'm also going to create a cut for it for YouTube, but definitely my LMS that I have, which is at learning. Let's see, I can actually show you where that is. So that is here. So it eventually will be here. Okay, when it starts, when I restart the server, it decides that it's okay to run to Git. Other than that, it's always going to post. I'm so confused at like how it could be hitting this over and over and over again. I'm gonna try console.log. Creating a new task. Okay, so when I'm doing that, and then we're hitting you, so I want to get all the tasks. So here we go. Okay, so we get all the tasks. We'll just wait until we see that happen again. Let's see, you were developing something with Rust WASM. Where is that course? That course is only on YouTube right now. That's an old course that was and I haven't created a new version of Vue course yet either. I'm kind of waiting for you to get a little bit. I feel like it's getting really close to dropping like a new major update. So I kind of want to like build courses on something that's already 1.0, which would be something like Actix Web before I get to Vue. And Leptos is also like under heavy development too. Okay, yes, let's post this. So new Docker course again, then back to here. Yeah, look at that. Getting all tasks, get tasks. Okay, so what that tells me is that the problem is this is a terrible idea. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to say table name, tasks, like that, insert tasks, insert. That should now fix it. So if I do an insert, okay, we get everything. I create one. I get them. Okay, so now it's working the way expected. Okay, so apparently what I was doing there before was caching the previous thing that I was doing and then just rerunning that again, which was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. So I didn't realize it was going to do that. That's fun. That's like some of the fun stuff you get with Node.js. Like it caches everything behind the scenes, which makes it super fast, but also obviously not great. But okay, so we just created that volume container. To show that it's actually working, I want to now, we're going to remove the Postgres. We're going to move the Postgres container again. We're going to stop you. We are going to create this Postgres container. Really important that we create it with this volume, and we need to keep that same volume there. So we kept you, and then we restart Node. We need to reconnect to all of those things. But now that we know what we're doing, I shouldn't need to connect to those anymore. And if I get all, they still exist like this. I don't have to re-migrate. I don't have to do any of that stuff. It just, the data is still there. So this is how Hungry Bear, and everybody else who obviously is like interested in it, but I know you asked this question. This is how you have that permanent data available for us. And I use air quotes there because everything in Docker is ephemeral. I could clear out that volume, I can delete it, I can connect a different volume, and it could just disappear at a moment's notice. And it's really like it's all there for me. I have full control over it. So as long as I keep on connecting that specific volume to it, that data remains for it.